Your well-being matters, both in and out of practice. Although you may have heard of the Members Assistance Program, or MAP, you may not be fully aware of all that it offers you, your family, and your staff. Tonight, along with TELUS Health, we will explore how MAP can support your personal and professional well-being. Now let's get started. First, a quick reminder about CDSPI. We help dentists, their families, and staff protect what matters most and secure their future with advice, insurance, and investments. Founded by dentists in 1959, CDSPI is a not-for-profit organization rooted in the dental community. As part of this community, we are committed to delivering tangible benefits to dentists who are members of our participating dental associations. As a not-for-profit, we focus on providing value rather than pursuing profits for shareholders. Our governance structure reflects this commitment, with 11 participating dental associations electing our board of directors and appointing representatives to our corporate members council, ensuring that CDSPI always remains aligned with the best interests of Canadian dentists. Now let's look at the big picture. We know that wellness is integrated with physical, mental, and the financial. Financial wellness contributes to better mental health. Studies have shown that financial stress can lead to anxiety and depression. By managing your finances effectively, you can improve your mental health and overall happiness. There's a strong link between financial wellness and physical health. Financial stress can lead to unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as poor diet and lack of exercise. Conversely, financial stability allows you to invest in your health, whether it's through a gym membership, healthy food, or even just regular medical checkups. Having a clear financial plan can help you make informed decisions about your career. At CDSPI, we are committed to supporting you in achieving financial well-being, because we appreciate that financial wellness goes hand in hand with physical and emotional wellness. Because of that, we sponsor the Members Assistance Program that provides access to immediate and confidential support for any work, health, or life concern, available anytime and anywhere, free of charge to you, your immediate family, and your staff. Many of you have heard of it, but maybe you aren't familiar with all the benefits. Today, you'll learn the full range of support services available through MAP, strategies and tools to help you support your team's mental health and performance, practical ways to access immediate help and build proactive wellness habits, and finally, how to navigate the MAP website and mobile app with ease. With that, I'm happy to turn it over to the star of the show tonight. Your speaker for this evening is Lauren Hutton Clow, a senior client success manager with TELUS Health's Employer Solutions team. She's based in Halifax, where she supports organizations and their teams with achieving their personal well-being goals and navigating life's challenges. She has 10+ years of experience in employee engagement and training and development. Lauren holds a BA and a diploma in human resources and is currently pursuing her MBA. Thanks for being here, Lauren.
Oh, thanks, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. So we'll this evening just walk through, as Michael said, some details about the MAP and associated services, and we'll leave some time at the end for questions as well. I really appreciate, I should say, before we get started, I really appreciate everyone taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us tonight. If the weather for you is anything like the fantastic weather we're having here in Halifax tonight, where we're having the first taste of summer, I doubly appreciate you taking the time to tune in. Hopefully you'll learn something new about this wonderful resource, and I hope that it will be useful for yourself or a member of your team. Let's get started here. A little bit about us before we get started. TELUS Health is a Canadian company. We're Canada's largest employee assistance program or member assistance program provider, and the largest in the world, covering over 75 million lives. And we have Canada's largest clinical network, featuring over 3,000 counselors. In terms of what we'll be taking a look at tonight, my aim is to provide you with an overview of the various services that will be available to you and your eligible dependents through the Member Assistance Program. As I mentioned, we'll take a look at the services available through the MAP, how to access them, and then a look at our mobile experience through TELUS Health One. So first things first, provided by CDSPI, the TELUS Health Member Access Program is a service offered to dentists, dental office staff, and employees of the Canadian Dental Association and participating provincial and territorial dental associations, as well as your immediate family members. When we say immediate family members, we are referring to dependent family members, meaning your spouse and children who are dependent on you up to age 21. If your child or dependent is in school full-time, they would also be covered up to age 25. We offer services in both English and French. There's no cost associated with accessing the map, including there's no coordination with benefits or anything like that. We just access the program completely free, and the service is voluntary and confidential. Across industries, member assistance programs or employee assistance programs tend to be a lesser known employee benefit for two main reasons. One, awareness. Often folks aren't aware of the program or what it can offer. And two, confidentiality. So for that reason, I always like at the beginning of these sessions to highlight the fact that the MAP is a 100% confidential program within the limits of the law. So that means there's a risk of harm to yourself, to others, things like child endangerment. We are legally obligated, of course, to connect with the appropriate authorities, but assuming no risk of harm, no one will know that you've accessed the map unless you choose to tell them. We also have multiple counseling locations in all larger cities, often in smaller towns and cities as well. So you can choose to access in-person counseling close to home, close to work, or away from both if you prefer. And we also have other ways to complete counseling, including on the phone, by video chat, or online. We also do not book back-to-back appointments with employees from the same organization at the same counseling location. So we also have separate waiting rooms and exit doors in many of our locations, so clients do not have to leave their appointment through the waiting room. We also require a client's permission to leave a detailed voice message. So without this consent, any message that we leave will be very discreet, and we will not reference that we're calling from TELUS Health or from the MAP. As well, the only reporting we offer is around trends that we're seeing in MAP services, things like how many cases were opened, what were some of the themes of the services. However, we do not share any information that can connect any service back to any specific individual, things like names, a person's role, the company they work for, any other identifying feature. With that out of the way, I often say that the MAP is a service to help you with whatever it is that's keeping you up at night, whether that's positive or negative. So with that in mind, we're here to help you 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You can call us in the middle of the night if you want to, and we're here to help. So you can reach out to us in two ways. You can give us a call on our toll-free number. There's a dedicated line for CDSPI, and speak to a Care Access Center representative, or connect with us through our website or mobile app. And through our website or our mobile app, which we'll get to a little later on, you'll have access to many different types of resources and helpful content, things like self-guided resources, appointment booking, and more. And our online content is organized around major themes, including family, life, work, health, money. So the key things we're here to assist with. So the number one reason folks reach out to the MAP and the service that we're best known for is counseling support. So all of our counselors have a minimum of a master's level degree and specific experience offering solution-focused counseling. Many of our counselors are generalists, though some will have specializations, things like second languages, faith-based practices, or more specific experience working with certain issues. So when you reach out to book an appointment, please feel free to chat with the Care Access team about your preferences, and we'll do our best to find you a great match. We have a large counseling network across Canada, as I mentioned, which really lets us help you find the best match for your location and for your preference. Most appointments, when you reach out, can be booked within a day or two as well. We That's one of the wonderful features about the program, is being able to reach out, be connected with a counselor within a couple of days. Sometimes it may take a little bit longer if you have specific preferences, but our goal is to connect you with the service that you need as soon as possible. So the map is designed to support you and your family members through every age and stage of your life. This is really just a small sampling of the issues that might prompt someone to reach out for support, for counseling, what we call our work-life services or professional services. And the structure of the map is short-term and solution-focused with our counseling and services that we offer. While some of these services have a fixed number of sessions, things like legal, for example, where you can access one-time consultation up to an hour in length for each issue, most of the services available through the MAP are flexible. So counseling, for example, we use what we call a solution-focused model. That means that one person might need one session with a counselor to get some action items, some perspective, and that'll be enough. For another person, they might need 3 or 4 sessions with a counselor to feel like they have the skills to manage the issue. Ultimately, the goal of short-term and solution-focused counseling is to provide you with skills to manage the issue that you're facing and make some positive changes. Sometimes that short-term model is not enough. So if you need or want ongoing support or specialized services, your MAP counselor can refer you to community resources or private practitioners who could provide longer-term or specialized services. In which case, you may be able to coordinate with group benefits to cover costs if you have those. So I mentioned before, we're here to help you with whatever is keeping you up at night. So we have a range of practical resources to help you find guidance, find support in both those challenging and exciting times. Things like starting a family, buying a house, child graduating from high school, going off to college or university, or more challenging times like periods of stress, grief, relationship issues, and so on. So whatever it is that's affecting your well-being, I encourage you to reach out, and we'd be really happy to connect you with resources to help. Um, it's one of those things that's really helpful to be aware of, because I know if you're anything like me, my colleagues tend to know more about what's on my mind than my friends do these days, especially working in person in something like a dental office. You're across the chair from somebody, you're in the office with somebody, 8 to 12 hours a day, maybe. You know lots about what's going on in their life. So being able to say, hey, sounds like you're going through something serious here, or sounds like you've got a lot going on. Did you know that we have access to the member assistance program? Maybe they can help you, find some answers that you're looking for, or support you through what you're going through, or a period of transition, things like that. So just going into a little bit greater depth here, I wanted to share with you a few of the main reasons why folks reach out for counseling support. So across their entire book of business and all industries, personal relationships tend to be a top reason that people have reached out, followed by personal stress, anxiety, and depression. I had a look at some of the data from the CDSPI utilization over the last year or so, and communication is another top one that we're seeing there, and workplace stress, I think, falls into the top 5 there as well. So we're all dealing with different stressors on a daily basis, whether that's parenting, relationships, work or personal stress, caregiver responsibilities, our own health. Maybe you're running your own business, feeling pressure because you're leading a team. Often we're really good at managing those things on our own, but often there's times where an outside perspective can be really helpful, or maybe there's something you haven't thought of that would really help you manage that life stress. In those instances, the MAP can be a really extremely valuable service. I like to think of it as a neutral third party that can help guide you when you need it. So besides counseling support, we also have a range of what we call work-life services, and those are delivered through telephonic or online. Sorry, those are delivered over the phone or online, and can allow an individual to connect with a subject matter expert to ask questions and receive knowledgeable and professional advice. First on our list, typically the most popular, are our legal consultations. I wanted to point out first that our legal support services are for personal matters. MAP legal consultations are not related to your professional duties. So if you have something that you need help with in relation to your profession, I would generally recommend checking with your dental association or CDSPI. Otherwise, though, legal consultations provide a one-time consultation up to an hour in length with a lawyer that has experience in the specific area of law required and the applicable province. It's meant to be general in nature, so meaning if an individual needs to engage the services of a lawyer, they wouldn't be covered under the MAP. However, some lawyers in our network will offer discounts to clients referred through the MAP. Legal consultations tend to be the most popular work-life service offering alongside nutrition, which we'll talk about in just a moment here. I should say as well, with this, we're not able to support folks who have questions about tax law, employment law, or immigration law. Next, we have our financial support services, which connects folks to financial professionals to support issues like debt and credit management, budgeting, tax and estate planning, retirement planning, to name a few there. We don't provide investment advice through the SMAP service, and it is important with this one to note as well, CDSPI offers financial planning, investments, and insurance. So check with them to see if you're eligible. Staff and families have limited access. Dentists have to be members of their association. Career services. This is a great one here. It'll connect you with a career coach to support you with all the phases you might experience in your career, whether you're just starting out or maybe looking to build some career resiliency skills, managing growth and performance in your current career, or to start thinking about retirement, what's next for you, how you're going to spend your time when you're no longer coming into the office. Through career services, I like to point this one out here as well. This can be great if you have children who are finishing high school, maybe getting ready to move on to the next stage in their career. We can help with things like resume writing. We have some programs just helping folks decide what to do next and understanding, what might make them happy as they pursue further education or employment, things like that. And I mentioned nutrition. That's another big one within our work-life services. Those are telephone consultations with registered dietitians, which allow clients to ask questions, receive expert health advice, things like eating healthy, losing weight, eating for energy. I have 2 young children, so I always tell folks about this one, but you can also reach out for help with managing a picky eater. We can help provide guidance in that sense as well. We also have what we call family support services, which is kind of like a well-oiled research engine. They can help find community resources and information to support individuals with things like family issues, elder care support, parenting supports, and family resource packages as well. We also provide health consultations as well for things like stress management, diet and lifestyle, and so on. So we have many different ways to access counseling support. This is just a quick look at it there. We offer various counseling delivery options to allow for greater flexibility. It can be really helpful if you have someone in your family or yourself who works shift work and need an appointment, say on a Sunday or later in the evening. They might find it more convenient to use our telephone counseling service, which is available 7 days a week, early morning to late evening. Or maybe you're looking for couples counseling and your spouse travels. You might appreciate the flexibility of connecting to a single session through video counseling. You don't need to be in the same place for that appointment. Just as it sounds, face-to-face counseling is an in-person appointment at the counselor's office. We have offices across Canada, like I said, from big cities to small towns. So just reach out and we can help find someone if that's your preference. For telephone counseling, the counselor will call the client at a designated time at a number provided by the client. Telephone counseling can occur anywhere that the client is able to speak on the phone. E-counseling, that's an email conversation between the counselor and the client. The client will send an email to the counselor, and within 24 to 48 hours, the counselor will respond and will continue back and forth. This option is popular, I find, with clients who prefer to like journal their feelings or want to save their counselor suggestions for revisiting, the next time they need support. Video counseling offers that real-time kind of face-to-face feeling using a computer. Can even be used, like I said, for couples or family counseling when folks are in different locations. Say someone working remotely and someone's back at home, you can access that single session if you like. Text-based resources are also provided through our health and wellness resource kits. Those are clinical resources, things like self-help books, workbooks, community resources that you can work through at your own pace. We also have a number of health and wellness resource kits on topics like parenting children, parenting teens, relationships, nutrition, career transition, career development, job loss, and so on. Lastly, First Chat allows you to connect immediately through your computer or mobile device with a counselor through chat or texting. And there's no appointment required to connect with a counselor by First Chat, and you'd typically be connected with a counselor in less than a minute. Just a quick look at what you'll experience when you call in. So if you give us a call, excuse me, sorry, or reach out online to speak with someone, we will ask you a couple quick questions to get started. And if it's an urgent request or a crisis situation, if you're calling for yourself, that's what we've got. It says employee here, but if you're calling for yourself and it's an urgent situation, we'll give you immediate access to consultant to discuss, or the counselor to discuss, whatever you're reaching out for support with. As an organization, you can also reach out for support or an urgent request for crisis support. We have a team that you can bring counselors on site for your team if needed. That's an add-on service, but we certainly do have that available. And if it's a non-urgent request, we will connect you with an appropriate professional and book an appointment for you at your convenience. So I mentioned previously when we were talking about counselors and finding the right fit, someone who has the right balance of experience for you. Quality assurance is really important to us. So finding that match, really important. If at any time you feel the connection isn't right, we encourage you to call back to our Care Access Center, request an appointment with a different counselor, and we're here to support you and ensure a positive experience. After you access the service, you'll receive a survey, possibly a follow-up call, and it's really designed to provide you with the services and support you need. And so, yeah, we encourage you to reach back out. If it's not a fit, it's important to us that we get it right. Just a couple of quick things. If you're managing a team, if you're leading people within your office or practice, sometimes you need a little bit of extra assistance, whether you've been managing people for a short period of time or a long period of time. You can always reach out to us and we can provide support and guidance, even assistance with things like recommending someone reaches out to the MAP, having that conversation in a sensitive way. We can help you with things like leadership skills or managing performance, having difficult conversations. So that service is available for you. If you call in, you can select that option from the menu or request that when you're speaking with a representative over the phone. So just a quick look at additional services available to you outside of the MAP. You can reach out to our team and we can chat through any of these with you if it would be helpful. But I always like to point them out in these types of orientation sessions. So I mentioned, calling in, in an urgent situation. We do offer critical incident support, which provides debriefing and diffusing care for your people after a critical or traumatic incident. So often our team will come in if there's maybe an accident in the workplace, a death of a colleague, things like that. You feel your team will need someone to talk to. These services, as I said, will be outside of the MAP, and costs will be payable by you. But just wanted to point this one out here. And we have specialized teams that help with these scenarios. TELUS Health Learning, or through TELUS Health Learning, I should say, we have a variety of different training options, things like seminars, awareness training sessions, kind of lunch and learn type topics, mainly around mental health and well-being topics, though we have lots on physical health as well, and overall well-being. Workshops, which are typically like half day instructor-led workshops. Again, small group sizes, but more practical learning style. We also have a lot of flexible online e-learning courses available as well. Our workplace development team provides specialized support for individuals or teams, things like mediation, coaching, sensitivity training, and so on. Okay, and then lastly, we'll take a look here at TELUS Health One. So probably wondering how to access the service, which we'll go through here in a moment. But the way you would access us online would be to visit one.telushealth.com or download the TELUS Health One app. We'll have a slide in a moment here, which will show all of the login details for you and how to access that. But we have an app called TELUS Health One, and that's our website as well. So calling, again, not the only way to access or connect with the map. Through our app, through our website, we have hundreds of digital resources which you can access easily from the platform or that mobile app. There's a wealth of information, tools, resources written and reviewed by well-being industry experts. So a lot of that content there can be both useful for yourself if you need to work through something or you're interested in learning about a different topic. But also, I always encourage folks to have a look at some of this content. It can be a really wonderful resource if you are exploring well-being topics as a team. Maybe you have a themed month where you're working on something, or you're doing some sort of well-being challenge. I hear about step challenges all the time, things like that. You can incorporate some of the articles, some of those resources into conversations as a team throughout the year. I highly recommend taking a look there. On the website, on the app as well, you can also access things like our total well-being assessments, which provide personalized recommendations, tips, and resources really meant to encourage behavioral change. We also have digital self-help resources, what we refer to as Care Now programs. We'll get to those in a moment here, which will give you specialized self-help resources that you can work into your daily schedule. As I said, there are those Care Now programs. Those are specialized self-help resources, really designed to help make you help you make positive changes. It's a lot of interactive content, things like exercises, podcasts, meditations, videos, things along those lines, on topics like depression, stress, anxiety, grief, and so on. We're always adding new topics, so check back you'll find more information there on other areas you might find you need support in. Another thing I pointed out there when chatting about the app is our total well-being assessment. This is the one, this is where you'll answer a few questions about your own well-being based on the 4 pillars: total well-being, financial, social, physical, and mental. They can be completed all at one time, or they can be done individually, and it would just really give you a snapshot of your well-being status at any given time. Once those questionnaires are completed, you'll be given a total health score to assess your overall total well-being level. They take about 2 minutes to complete, so they're really quick and easy. And to begin, you would just access the web platform or app, select well-being, and then click on assessments. So next, as as I said, we have a lot of support and resources. These can be really useful for yourself or for sharing with your team, sparking interesting conversations, or supporting initiatives that you have going on as a team. On the website as well, or on the app, we have a service that we refer to as perks. This is a lot of discounts and offers with a lot of different major retailers. It can be really wonderful if you're a traveler. There's lots of discounts at different tourist attractions, rental cars, things like that. There's also a cashback program there as well. I actually recently used perks to buy a new container for my Vitamix and save myself like 20% or something like that. So it's a great spot. So if there's something you need to purchase, take a look at the app and you may find either a coupon code or some link to go save a little bit of money there. So yeah, this is the login details. I encourage you to make note of this. But you can download the TELUS Health One app. I always like to point out the logo here. So this is what it looks like, kind of a recycling symbol. You're looking for TELUS Health One. As you can imagine, there's lots of different TELUS and TELUS Health apps. They're all kind of branded similarly. So look for this one called TELUS Health One. When you go to log into the app, you will use as your username the abbreviation for your provincial or territorial dental association in all caps. So for example, in this case, MDA for Manitoba, and then the password in caps CDSPI. Quite straightforward. One thing you may want to do as well, and I'll show you here in a moment on the website, is create your own personal account. So once you've logged in with the shared login, you can create your own personal account just by clicking on connect with us, or there's a couple of other spots where this will pop up as well. But if you click connect with us and then something like scheduling an appointment, it will prompt you to create a personal account. From there, it'll just ask you, to create, put in your personal details like your name and email address and a password for yourself. And then it'll send you an email just to verify that you want to create an account. It just takes a minute or two, but it's worth it because it will save anything that you've accessed on the platform, any of those well-being surveys that you've done, things like that. And you can also go ahead and book appointments that way as well. You can encourage your family members to create an account using the app or website if they like as well. And this one you may want to, I'll leave this on the screen for a moment here before I pull up the website just to show you. But this is the phone number if you'd like to give us a call. Whoops. Of course, clicking there, trying to highlight that, I changed the screen. But the phone number is 1-844-578-4040. 4040. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. It's quite late here tonight. 1-844-578-4040. And the URL is one.telushealth.com. I should say as well, you can put the abbreviation for your provincial or territorial dental association in all caps. If you're a dental student, you just put dental student, capitalizing dental and student, and then the password for all of those is CDSPI. This QR code here as well will bring you to the website. I'm going to bring up the website really quickly just to show you what that looks like. Again, really, really easy. This is TELUS Health One. I'm going to use the BCDA here. There we go. My password saved. So this is what you'll see when you log in, some of those self-care programs, well-being assessments. You can connect with us. Clicking here will allow you to schedule an appointment or explore different options. And the phone number is here as well. So you don't have to remember that. But there we go. And we'll always have featured resources here. We have what we refer to as our well-being calendar, where we explore different themes each month. I believe for May, we have the financial well-being focus. So that's why a lot of these posts you'll see here relate to financial well-being. We have a full library of content, which you can search through. One thing I always recommend checking out in terms of our well-being content is our toolkits, which you can search for at the top here if you like, but the toolkits are really geared to different, issues that you might be facing in your life, whether that's navigating like a death in the family. Let's check pets here, for example. So there might be, applicable articles, things like that. Sometimes you'll find different sort of checklists, things like that, things you might want to consider as you navigate whatever that might be. If you want to search for resources, this is a topic I get asked about all the time. We're searching for menopause here. Hopefully it will bring up some good content. So maybe it's something you're talking about as a team. We've got lots of great, vetted articles, content you can trust that can be shared. Again, another toolkit there, managing menopause. You could share this as part of a newsletter, conversations with the team, or just for yourself as well. Yeah, so that's what we would, the key things I would like to point out on the website here. And you can access a range of content on a lot of different themes. If you'd like to create an account for yourself, I should say as well, that option will pop up for you anytime you do something that might be like confidential or something you might want to save. So for instance, schedule an appointment. When I click into it here, it'll prompt me to create a personal account. And so you can go ahead and do that at that stage and then proceed with speaking with a counselor. So I'll leave it there. I'm going to go back to the slide here in case anyone wants to save this content, take a picture of that, or scan the QR code to bring up the website. But I'll leave it there for questions.
Now, yeah, we do have 2 questions submitted so far. If anyone else has any, please feel free to submit them now in the Q&A. First one, Lauren, can you talk more about referrals to community services when long-term counseling is required? How does that work?
Apologize, I muted myself there. So we chatted sort of at the beginning about how our counseling is sort of intended to be solution focused, more short term. Counselors will work with you to build an action plan for moving forward. If you start exploring something with a counselor, and you kind of find that it may be something that will take a little bit more than I want to say like an average of 3 or 4 sessions. Sometimes it's a bit longer with a clinician. But if it's something that really needs to be explored in greater depth, or perhaps with a different type of counseling or therapy, they would work with you to sort of understand what your needs are, make some suggestions, and really it depends on the scenario. But from the folks that I've worked with, or the folks on my team, they tend to have a lot of information about different resources in the community that could benefit you, whether that is a public program that you might want to reach out to. Here in Nova Scotia, we have a lot of wonderful services offered by the Department of Mental Health, and I know a lot of our clinicians refer to those types of programs, as well as private practice. So they would have suggestions for you, and then incorporate that into your action plan for next steps, and encourage you to reach out there. And they're very good at sort of guiding you when you're not really sure where to go next. That is one of the wonderful parts of EAP, I think, or member assistance programs, I should say, is it can often be a really great first step in your counseling journey for folks who haven't accessed counseling before. Our counselors are very warm and supportive, and really will help hold your hand if needed, or help guide you, because they do have a lot of connections in the community as well. It's a long answer there, but they do a wonderful job of connecting to others. In some instances as well, our counselors do offer counseling outside of the MAP, so you may be able to continue on after working with them if you want to, and if that's something they do, you may be able to pay privately for those sessions as well.
And the final question here, I guess this is probably more oriented to me here, is creating an account for the non-dentists as well? And the short answer to that one is yes. Our services are open to families and staff members Provincial Dental Association staff members as well. So you can all create accounts, not just dentists, hygienists, what have you. Thanks, Lauren, very much for hosting and giving us a bunch of really great information. And everyone, have yourselves a great night.